When you're a boy. I did just flick through this just to familiarise myself with what I was about to read because when I look at that title, I'm not sure, and I'm wondering who is sure what that title means. If you are a boy, you probably have a better idea than many of us. Um, but just on having a look at this book already, wow, it is another piece of magic. It doesn't have lots of text as our picture books don't, but there is so much meaning um, underneath the few words that are chosen. They're chosen carefully, and we can pick up a picture book and not think that there's anything particularly special or hard working about them, that anybody can put them together. But actually, a very good picture book is like I've just explained this one to be. Limited text, but so much involved in what is behind those chosen words. And it being a picture book, the illustrations, of course, just magnify the meaning of the text that is chosen in this brief story. So it's a very good example of a wonderful picture book, and obviously how this book has ended up on the book week shortlist. All right, there's our green star. Borrow after week 5, and please do borrow this. And I think take it home and read it with a dad or an uncle, or an adult male, because they probably will find a lot of meaning and insight and moments of reflection about what it was like when they were growing up as a boy to the big boy or the man that they are today. Very interesting. And as an adult, it's just lovely to see how our culture is shifting bit by bit and helping us to grow into better people all the time. All right, When You're a Boy by Blake Nuto. It's in the junior fiction section, but like I said, please borrow this, read it with an adult at home. It is meaningful to all ages. Here we go. When You're a Boy. There's a nice dedication here that Blake Nuto has written for us to read. He's dedicated this book to Teddy James, all right, who is his son, I would imagine. He says, "When you were 4, we were stuck in a traffic jam. You invented a game where we would take turns to spot all the beautiful things we could see through the window. You found beauty in things that nobody cared to look at before." He says, "That game is still inside you. Love, Dad." I mean, what a beautiful dedication to his son, where his son played a game with him that, just was so inspiring to his father, the adult, and where Teddy has shown that he can see beauty in many things, can make a positive out of a negative, a traffic jam, for example. And that's something that obviously has inspired his dad to capture in this story. When You're a Boy. There they are. Out in the natural environment together. When you're a boy, What's Dad describing? Or is he copying his son there, do you think? Arms out. Perhaps they're being aeroplanes. It's the kind of tarmac that the aeroplane will roll down before it takes off. Who knows? What do you think? When you're a boy, you are told how to be like the white roaring oceans. Do you think that white roaring oceans is something that's strong and loud? But, says the boy, I've learned the fierceness of flowers, the glory of colour. See the beautiful things that the boy sees, despite, maybe being, raised and encouraged to be strong. So you'll grow up to be a strong man, strong individual. But the boy is saying, hang on, there is so much beauty around. Let's also notice that stuff as we grow up. Beautiful galahs. I mean, you know how I feel about our Australian birds. So thanks, Blake Muto, for including our Australian birds in your beautiful book. And the beauty of dreaming. Wow, that looks so peaceful and relaxing. When you're a boy, you are told how to be like the sky-shifting thunders. So do you think that's more of that message about growing up strong and being a warrior? There's our dad and boy braving the storm. Turn the page. But the boy says, and look at his face there, but I've learned the sweetness of dancing, the softness of music. And the power of healing. He's growing up to be such a lovely human being, isn't he? When you're a boy, you are told how to be like the swift sweeping rivers. Raging river there. What does that teach a boy to be, do you think? He says, but I've learned the wisdom of waiting. Indeed, there's a lot of wisdom in waiting and the courage of patience. We aren't just muscle, are we? We're also heart and mind, and, those things are really important, that we can calm ourselves and wait and listen and be in the moment. And the strength of contentment. Wow, there's some really important learning in these words. What do you think that means? Why don't you include that in your discussion with your teacher? Here we are, more beautiful Australian birds. When you're a boy, you are told how to be like the cruel, clawing wilds. Well, that's raising a tough boy, isn't it? You need to be like the cruel, clawing wilds. Perhaps they are some powerful owls there having a bit of a collision with some beautiful black cockatoos. It's a bit about being in battle, isn't it? What is our boy going to remind us about also what is important when we're growing up? But I've learned, he says, the falsehood of fighting. Yeah. That's something we remind ourselves at school about kindness and caring, about solving problems with our words instead of getting angry and overreacting. Gee, this boy is clever. And the strong shield of slowly, and the sharp sword of sorry. So this is exchanging, some pretty strong language, isn't it? The sharp sword that you would use in a battle, exchange it for the word sorry. That's just another way of dealing with our problems, and a more intelligent way of fixing our problems. Saying sorry, being patient, being slow. When you're a boy, you are told how to be like the sure standing mountains, big and strong. But, the boy says, I've learned the lightness of kindness, the brightness of happy. He's choosing all the more positive ways of being a human, isn't he? He's still a boy growing into a man. He's just a lovely, balanced kind of boy and man, and the brilliance of being. What does that mean, do you think? I'm not going to tell you what I think it means. Have that question answered and share it in discussion. And thanks again, Blake Nuto, for including some more beautiful cockatoos in your illustrations. Oh my gosh, what an amazing book. Do you agree? When you're a boy.